It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down beside you because you promised yourself you wouldn't check it. Your mind is racing through a conversation from 6 years ago. You wonder if something is wrong with you. But the real answer is far stranger. You are not broken. You are ancient. For most of human history, sleep didn't look like this at all. Picture a small fire, glowing orange against a dark sky. Around it, bodies wrapped in animal hide. Some curled close to the heat, others stretched further out. Nobody is asleep for 8 straight hours. Somebody is always awake. Somebody is always watching. Anthropologist Carol Worthman spent years studying sleep patterns across dozens of traditional societies, from foraging groups in Africa to rural communities in South America. What she found broke almost every assumption modern people carry about rest. Sleep wasn't a private, isolated event. It was a shared, social, half-lit experience. People drifted in and out of consciousness. They talked in the dark. They woke, watched the fire, and slept again. This wasn't insomnia. This was normal. Your ancestors didn't sleep in one solid block. They slept in two. Historian Roger E. Kirch uncovered this by combing through centuries of diaries, court records, and medical texts from pre-industrial Europe. He found hundreds of references to a first sleep and a second sleep. People would sleep for a few hours after dark, wake naturally in the middle of the night, stay awake for 1 to 2 hours, and then fall back asleep until dawn. That waking window had a name. People called it the watch. During the watch, people didn't panic. They didn't reach for a screen because there was no screen to reach for. They prayed. They talked quietly with a partner. They tended the fire. Some had sex. Some simply lay in the dark, thinking. It was expected. It was ordinary. Nobody diagnosed it as a disorder because nobody believed sleep was supposed to be one unbroken slab of unconsciousness in the first place. So what changed? Light changed. Specifically, artificial light changed everything. Before gas lamps and electric bulbs, darkness was total once the sun went down. Your ancestors' bodies ran almost entirely on natural light and dark cycles. When the sun set, melatonin rose. When the sun rose, it fell. There was no blue light tricking the brain into thinking it was still noon. Then came the industrial era. Cities installed street lighting, homes filled with gas lamps, then electric bulbs. Suddenly, night stopped meaning darkness. Kirch's research shows that as artificial lighting spread through the 1800s, references to first sleep and second sleep quietly vanished from historical records within a couple of generations. The biphasic pattern didn't disappear because it was unhealthy. It disappeared because the environment that shaped it disappeared. Your body still remembers, though. Somewhere in your biology, a very old pattern still hums beneath the surface. Sleep researcher Thomas Ware ran an experiment in the early 1990s that makes this strange truth impossible to ignore. He placed a group of volunteers in an environment with 14 hours of darkness each night, mimicking a long, ancient winter night, and removed every artificial light source. No lamps, no screens, no clocks glowing red in a corner. Just darkness for 14 hours, night after night. Within weeks, something remarkable happened. The volunteers' sleep split in two. They fell asleep a few hours after the darkness began, woke naturally in the middle of the night, stayed calmly awake for 1 to 3 hours, and then slept again until the artificial dawn. Their bodies rediscovered the watch. Nobody taught them to do this. Their biology simply remembered what it was built for. That means the 2 a.m. wake-up you dread might not be a malfunction. It might be an ancient rhythm trying to surface through a world that no longer gives it room to exist. Think about what that waking window used to hold. Connection. Quiet conversation. A kind of unhurried thinking that daylight never allows, because daylight is full of tasks and noise and other people's demands. The watch was a second, softer kind of consciousness. A space between. Now compare that to your current 2 a.m. The fire is gone. The quiet conversation is gone. In its place is a phone, a glowing rectangle promising distraction, and a mind left alone with racing thoughts and no ritual to hold them. Your ancestors filled the watch with connection and low-stakes reflection. You fill it with scrolling or with silence that feels unbearable because nothing has taught you what to do with it. Psychologist Matthew Walker, who has spent decades studying sleep at the University of California, Berkeley, points out that modern anxiety about waking at night is often self-inflicted. The waking itself is not dangerous. The panic about the waking is what causes the damage. Your ancestors woke and stayed calm because waking was expected. You wake and spiral because you were taught that anything less than 8 unbroken hours means something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Something is wrong with the story you were told about sleep. The 8-hour unbroken block that modern culture treats as the gold standard is a remarkably young invention. It reflects factory schedules, standardized workdays, and a culture built around clocks rather than bodies. Ancient sleep didn't answer to a clock. It answered to darkness, firelight, and the slow unwinding of a day that ended when the sun did. So the next time you wake at 2 a.m. and your mind starts racing and you feel the urge to reach for your phone to fix a feeling of wrongness, consider a different response. Consider lying still in the dark. Consider letting your thoughts drift without chasing them down. Consider that somewhere in your DNA, a version of you has done exactly this beside a fire, under a sky with no streetlights, for longer than you have existed as a species with electricity at all. You are not failing at rest. You are remembering an older one. The watch is still in you. It never left. It's just waiting for the lights to go out long enough for you to notice it again. It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. But maybe the real answer isn't that something is wrong. Maybe the real answer is that you're finally quiet enough to hear something very old, still awake, still watching, right where it's always been.